calling cinephiles and gorehounds, for there are terrors to be found, an onslaught of sights and sounds, approaching horror films abound.
Sorry. As with Sundance earlier this year, South by Southwest 2021 went entirely online, making the festival more accessible, if less communal than ever before. I attended virtually and prioritized the most promising and eye-catching horror films on the program. In this video, I'll tell you about 5 to put on your radar. While I wish I could have seen each of these films in a packed theater, I suppose it's a testament that they still held up watching them alone. So gather around the glow of your screen as we start the countdown. Number 5, Gaia. Billed as an ecological horror fantasy, this South African film follows Gabby and Winston, 2 park rangers who are separated during their surveillance mission in a primordial forest. Gabby stumbles upon a father and son, living off the land and carrying on a post-apocalyptic existence that seems superstitious at best. That is, until we learn what's living in the forest. Filmed on location in the Titsakama National Park, Gaia makes great use of an already inhospitable wilderness before sprucing up the threat with slick visual effects for a narrative that is both primal and biblical. It's a thought-provoking exercise that at times reminded me of The Descent, Apostle, and The Last of Us, an eco-horror petri dish worth putting under your microscope. What's more, Gaia is the first acquisition of Decal, a new distribution company formed by Bleecker Street and Neon. They will be releasing the film in select theaters this summer. Number 4, Offseason. This is the latest film from writer-director Mickey Keating, the filmmaker behind Pod, Darling, and Carnage Park. Jocelyn Donahue plays a woman summoned to an island town to tend to her mother's desecrated grave before the bridge is closed for winter. The sense of urgency is heightened when the island's denizens prove to be a mysterious bunch harboring a dark secret. As with Gaia, I think the locale is one of the best things that Offseason has going for it, from the bleak beach and desolate forest to a fog-laden town that feels right out of Silent Hill. It's atmospheric as hell, and it just might be. Maybe it's because it's told in chapters, or the East Coast setting, or Donahue herself, who recently starred in Dr. Sleep, but Offseason reminded me of a Stephen King novella, and its 83-minute runtime ensures that it doesn't overstay its welcome. No word yet on a release date. Number 3, Paul Dude's Deadly Lunch Break. This is a flamboyantly titled British horror comedy about a talentless 40-something live streamer living with his mom who has dreams of winning the national talent show. Following a series of unfortunate events, those dreams are shattered and Paul's revenge goes viral. Tom Meaton excels in the title role, winning the audience over early on so they can cheer for him during the misadventures paved with dry British humor. It's clearly inspired by Edgar Wright's Cornetto trilogy and the early films of Ben Wheatley, with whom writer-director Nick Gillespie is a longtime collaborator. As a live-streaming thriller, it recalls the likes of the passively titled Nerve and Spree, but I much prefer Paul Dude's Deadly Lunch Break over those. It's both a film and a name you're not likely to forget. No word yet on a release date. Number 2, Jacob's Wife. Horror legend Barbara Crampton stars as the wife of a small-town pastor played by Larry Fessenden. Over the years, she's grown to feel ineffectual and their marriage has gone stale. But nothing spices up a relationship quite like being turned into a vampire. The Bible says no man can serve 2 masters. But how about a woman? Jacob's Wife, note the intentionally possessive title, confronts the patriarchy in Christianity, facing power from on high with power from below, all while having a deliciously good time. It makes for one of the most interesting vampire flicks this side of Jim Jarmusch's Only Lovers Left Alive, and the religious angle brings to mind Park Chan-wook's exquisitely crafted Thirst. RLJ Entertainment and Shudder will be releasing Jacob's Wife on April 16th.
Of course it was you!
Number 1, The Spine of Night. A vague synopsis teases an ultra-violent fantasy epic about dark magic falling into sinister hands, ushering in an age of suffering for mankind. Heroes from different eras and cultures must band together in order to defeat it. If that sounds rather generic, well, that's because The Spine of Night is generic in the best sense of the word. For those craving adult horror fantasy and adult animation, this material feels indebted to the literature of Tolkien and Martin. And the hand-drawn rotoscope animation is inspired by heavy metal and the films of Ralph Bakshi. If that checks multiple boxes on your geek sheet, you just might love this as much as I do. The Spine of Night is co-written and co-directed by Philip Gillette and Morgan Gallen King. King also labored as the film's animator and has clearly been building toward this for years. You can check out his 2013 short film Exordium on his YouTube channel. It's the foundation upon which he built the saga of The Spine of Night, a film that somehow already feels like a cult classic. It's the single best film I saw at South by Southwest. As with Jakob's wife, RLJ Entertainment and Shudder acquired distribution rights for North America and will be releasing it in select theaters later this year, before a release on Shudder in 2022. And those are 5 horror films from South by Southwest 2021 to look out for. Which ones are you excited for? Or if you were also able to virtually attend the festival this year, what did you see and what would you recommend? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you down there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Cineflect for video essays, film lists, and more.
I got this!
And click that bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to be notified anytime I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. For Cineflect, I'm JS Lewis. Until next time, watch something good.